evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order the Town of Delafield Board of Supervisor meeting for Tuesday, July 22nd at 6:30 p.m. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would please call the roll call, and as the administrator calls your name, if you could kind of wave so that people know who you are when they're watching the YouTube video, that'd be great.
Supervisor Mahoney-Ogden.
Present.
Supervisor Miller.
Here.
Supervisor Wolfley.
Present.
Supervisor Berkowitz.
Present.
Chairman Kranick.
Present.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, item 4, citizens' comments. Public comments from citizens regarding items on or not on the agenda. The board may not engage in discussions with citizens making the comments. Individual presentations are limited to 3 minutes, and citizens shall follow the rules set forth in section 2.04, paren 1, paren D of the town code. The first speaker we have this evening is Hope Erickson. If you would come to the podium and state your name and address, that would be great.
Hope Erickson, N11W29701 Southampton Drive. I'm here to oppose any change to the current ordinance for the ATV, UTV on property. I'm not exactly sure what to say. Off-road vehicles. It's a nuisance, and the biggest thing about Dover Bay is that we're a peaceful, safe environment, and we want to keep it that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker we have is Matthew Green.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Green. Address North 10, West 29887, St. James Court. The primary reason for my visit here today is to be on the other side of the ATV, UTV restriction that we believe is being presented to the town board for the use of these private vehicles within personal residences less than 10 acres. It's our opinion, or at least my opinion, and especially affected by neighboring properties of ours, that the use of these off-the-road vehicles by children less than 12 years old creates, essentially disturbs the quiet enjoyment of residents close by. With that, I would strongly oppose the use. I believe that the change in the code would represent the opinion that all other activities to children under the age of 12 in the town of Delafield, which are plentiful, have been exhausted, and that the only thing left to be able to do for these children to recreate is to ride motor vehicles in their backyard. That's my position. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker I have is Tom Hudican.
I'm Hadikin, lot 21, West 297, North 920 Kingsway. Okay, I'm opposed to changing any of the ordinance and everything. It's going to be noisy. It's also going to be somewhat of a decrease in value of the subdivision, having stuff like that going on. There's going to be sometime a terrible accident. The way those UTV, well, not the UTVs, but the ATVs with the kids on them go whipping over these hills, and these people don't expect them with their trucks, especially the trucks when they're delivering stuff. They're flying over these hills to make the hill and everything. So I'm definitely opposed to having any changes on the ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker I have is Mac Kraus. Mac, yeah.
Hi there, my name is Mac Carnes. Have been a citizen of this community for over 30 years. We live on North 31, West 29784 Wood Ridge Circle. I want to change the subject a bit and talk about the fire service that we are having and we don't have. I believe that we have been taken advantage of by the city of Delafield. They are not providing the service that we have paid for. And I think that we need to attempt to, A, get out of the current contract and find another provider, or we need to enforce the law that they have agreed to and then have them provide no one here at the fire department. I mean, I have a heart condition, and it would be faster for my wife to drive me to Summit than it would be to wait for the ambulance to come from all the way down in the city of Delafield. So I think they have done a great disservice to this community, and we should take care of that, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Tracy Murin.
Hi, my name is Tracy Mern, North 10, West 29887, St. James Court. So a lot of people are here to oppose any changes to the ordinance. Currently, the ordinance on off-the-road vehicles allows off-the-road vehicle use only on properties with 10 or more acres. It's completely prohibited on any parcels under 10 acres in the town of Delafield. There have been people, specifically our neighbors, who want to change that. We all in Dover Bay wish to not have that change and, in fact, ask for some more protections because, as you've heard, there are kids between like 10 and 15 driving on mini ATVs. They wouldn't be called technically ATVs under the Wisconsin statute because the town code adopts Wisconsin statute 2333, which references all the ATV rules. But they're tiny ATVs, they're off-the-road vehicles, and they're really unsafe. They're on Bryn, blind curves, hairpins, and pedestrians and cars are constantly at risk. You know, it's a really unsafe environment right now. And to add more use of something that's already causing a lot of safety concerns for my kids walking in the neighborhood, being at the lot line with our neighbor who uses off-the-road vehicles and go-karts on their parcel as a track ride, it's very concerning as a parent. It's concerning for the people in my neighborhood who we all respect, people, my family who lives in other places in the town of Delafield. We really ask that the town consider the safety concerns that not only ATVs, UTVs, and these mini ATVs, go-karts, off-the-road vehicles as defined in the code, all of those concerns, if you guys could open up some discussion on adding restrictions to that, because it's, in my opinion, a property right to be safe in my property, but also on the roads, which are public. So one of the main services you guys have is public safety. So we're hoping that you guys can consider all of the pleas of the people here and myself and my family to consider making more restrictions for ATV, UTV, off-the-road vehicles, go-karts, et cetera. So thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Chuck Palmer.
Chuck Palmer, N18, or N8W29393 Windrift Lane. I'm also a Dover Bay resident, and I want to talk about the potential proposal to change the UTV, ATV, off-road vehicle regulations. I personally struggled with this issue. At one point, I was on the board of directors for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We had to consider whether to grant as a wish UTV, ATV vehicles, and I was surprised when I looked at the regulations on the subject that a person 12 years old and over can drive those things. On the roads, they have to have training, but on their personal property, no restrictions whatsoever. And in fact, if you're under 12 years old, you can operate one of those vehicles as long as you're accompanied by a parent. So I was very surprised to see how little restriction there are on those vehicles. We're running at about 40 deaths per year, which is outnumbering by like triple the boat accidents. if you think about the voting. So we're having a lot of deaths, and this month, there were 2 deaths. One was a 12-year-old and one was a 6-year-old, just this month. And you'd think, oh, they must have been doing something wrong, but the regulations actually don't limit the ability to operate these things at ages over 12. And really on private property, it's a free-for-all. So you get a little concerned about, now my kids are grown, so luckily they survived my adult supervision, but we're really trusting adult supervision on this at this point. At least with a 10-acre limit, these things go 40 miles an hour. 10 acres is not that much. The reality is if somebody's operating it in my neighbor's yard, I'm going to want to put up a fence. We've got HOA rules that don't allow to put up a fence, but you know, what do you do? If they're going to drive into your yard, you're worried about liability if that happens, but if you put up a fence, then they hit the fence, then you got that particular risk. So it's the only line of defense on this is either adult supervision or the town board to say, we're not going to allow this because it's a safety risk. Other people's kids will want to get on their little kids, brothers and sisters will want to get on those vehicles. And frankly, I think we should help parents by creating the restriction, because those of us who've, you know, tried to tell our kids how they should dress in school, or they shouldn't use a cell phone until a certain age, or be on TikTok or Snapchat, it's the peer pressure side of things. And so if some kids can have them, other kids are going to want them. We have a fair amount of affluence in our world. Grandparents give kids more money than they probably need. They can buy their own ATVs. So we need to have some limits on that for public safety, and certainly for kids, because they're not always thinking they like to go fast. And then the other part of it was the consideration, or at least what I understood, the person who wants to propose this wants to remove the restriction on getting approval for racetracks, and that's exactly what kids are going to do, is they're going to race these things.
Got your 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so don't lift the racetrack restrictions.
Next speaker is Scott Patterson.
Hi, Scott Patterson, N11 W29595 Southampton Drive. I'm going to echo what everybody else has said, really nothing new to add. For me, it's more of an ATV issue. I butt up against 2 neighbors whose kids are riding ATVs, and they're riding at 8 o'clock in the morning, they're riding at 7 o'clock at night. One of them took the muffler off of their ATV. It's noisy as hell. I'm out trying to have a nice, quiet evening in our patio, and I keep hearing this constantly, basically 30 feet away from me. So the issue is, if we don't leave the ordinance as it is, where does this end? Because if we move forward and you approve what this guy is asking for, you're going to be asking for more trouble, because more kids are going to be coming in, and it's going to be more noise, more safety issues, more problems for our community. And I agree, it's going to bring our property values down, because people are not going to want to move into a community with a racetrack. So those are the 2 issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Ken Sader, or Sadel.
My name is Ken Sadell, North 8, West 29570 Thames Court. I've been a resident of Dover Bay for about 48 years. We moved here because it was peace and quiet. The ATVs that are going now up and down the street are noisy. If we have a track, it's going to quadruple, if not more, add to the noise. Also, it's a safety issue. I've on more than one occasion had to swerve to miss somebody coming down a driveway shooting into the street without even looking. You know, the kids don't look like they're even 12 and have no helmets on. And I'm not sure, I'm not a policeman, I don't know the law, but it seems to me that it's a dangerous situation. If we allow to have a racetrack in the area, I agree with other people, it's going to be a magnet for other people to be coming and racing, and it's going to be safety issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mitch Murn.
Hello, thank you for the time. My name is Mitch Murn. I live at N29W30361 Hawks Nest Court. So I live in the Hawks Nest neighborhood. I'm here to also oppose the off-road vehicle, any changes to that ordinance. The myriad of issues discussed tonight, I think, are enough. Nothing new I can say. I think safety is paramount, and that alone should be worthy of considering no changes to that ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker I have a slip for is Jason Wires.
I'm Jason Wires. We live at N12W29588 Southampton Drive, Waukesha, Wisconsin, in Dover Bay. We've lived there almost 13 years, and we oppose the change of the ordinance. I agree with everything people have said. I think since we moved in, the noise has actually gone up. The church behind us was supposed to be quiet. They provide more noise. The airplanes overhead have quadrupled. And now we have ATVs and possibly dirt bikes just bringing more and more noise. I have one small suggestion, which is our kids, we had a track in our yard and they rode mountain bikes and cross-country skis. So maybe non-motorized fun would be in order. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Eric Verbeebe.
Good evening. Appreciate your time. I'm Eric Verweebe, N10W29863 St. James Court. I also just want to echo the sentiments of most of the residents of this area on not lifting any restrictions as it pertains to off-road vehicles. I think it's going to continue to be a real issue. I think it already is a bit of an issue. I don't know how some folks get away with not, obeying the ordinances that are already there, but it is what it is, and hopefully something will change with that in the near future as well. But the idea of people buzzing around, everybody rides in their backyards, right? That's where all the properties abut, and that's usually where everybody else hangs out that doesn't ride off-road vehicles, right? So there's no respite from that sort of thing, So I'd really appreciate if you keep that ordinance as written.
Thank you. Next speaker is Tara Verbeebe.
I'm Tara Verbeebe. I live at N10W29863 St. James Court. I also oppose any change to the current ordinance, the safety concerns that we've all addressed, as well as the noise. Also, we have animals, and I can tell you right now, those sounds to animals really do heighten the anxiety in the neighborhood. I have dogs, so I'm very aware of that. As well as we moved here 2 years ago. We bought in this neighborhood. It's been around for 45 years. It's reminiscent of kind of a European countryside. The lots are larger. People buy in this neighborhood for peace, and having ATVs and those off-road vehicles really disturbs the tranquility and peace that we want to provide in this neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is B. Quinzelvan. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Bill Quinlivan. I live at N10W29878 St. James Court. And basically the safety and the noise are the major things. I'm really worried about the kids, as well as the drivers that are driving on the roads that the kids enter and exit. But basically it's the noise and the safety concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. That was all the slips that I have. Is there anybody else who would like to speak that I didn't call on? Hearing no one else wanting to speak during the public comment period, I'm going to close the public citizens comment period and move on to item 5, the approval of the June 24th, 2025 regular town board minutes.
Motion to approve June 24, 2025 town board minutes.
A second.
We have a motion and a second on the table to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next item would be item 6, approval of vouchers. I would look for a motion on accounts payable and payroll, please.
Motion to approve payroll check register dated July 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $16,708.58, and the check register dated July 4th, 2025, check number 68791 through 68820 in the total of $52,488.78.
You did the one payroll.
Yeah, I did the, oh, was there two?
There's two.
Ah, and, oh, yeah, that's right, we didn't, no worries. And check register dated July 22nd, 2025, checks dated, or check numbers 68821 and 68844 in the amount of $141,562.87. And
That's it.
it's three.
Well, there should be check registers for July 4th, checks 68791 through 68820 in the amount of $52,488.78. I think you missed the payroll check for July 18th.
Payroll checks dated July 18th, 2025 in the amount of $16,683.49.
A second.
Motion and a second to approve accounts payable and payroll as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Accounts payable and payroll is approved 5-0. Next item, item 7, communications, Highway 83 resurfacing project update. Really appreciated seeing, our deputy sitting at the corner of Maple and Gulf this afternoon around 4 o'clock when I was driving through, so that I really appreciate that. Just continued patience. We're close to the finish line here, I'm assured by the DOT. They're working as fast as they can to get some pavement down between Oakwood and Nagawicca so they can get the traffic off of Maple Avenue. I'm told early August is their projected timeline. Hopefully we don't get a lot of rain in the next couple weeks, but we're getting there, and I appreciate everybody's patience as we work through this issue and as the DOT works on resurfacing Highway 83. Any questions on that? Okay. Next item is the May 25th Lake Country Fire and Rescue report. Just want to point out that the calls for service to the city of Delafield in May, which is the latest report that we have available, was 44%. And unfortunately, this station was browned out 18 days. And that does make me very upset. And I've been working with the chief and our partner municipalities to try to remedy that situation. Next item is the June 2025 Waukesha County Sheriff's Report. I don't know if the sheriff has anything to add to the report, but they've been doing great work. I appreciate seeing their visibility on Maple Avenue and KE as we continue to deal with the construction on 83. Next item is the July 25th budget to actual report. Does the administrator clerk have anything to add to that?
I did add the column on there for the percentage that you had asked Supervisor Miller earlier. Did anybody have any questions on that? Did you look through it and see anything that stood out? There is one item on there that's around $2,000, and it was actually a purchase of an AED for the Department of Public Works. So that item is probably one of the largest ticket items that stands out, but very much needed.
So that was an AED that we purchased to be at the highway garage. Next item would be our 2025 deer management update.
So we are going to be opening up the town of Delafield stands that we have when it starts in, I believe it's September. We've revamped the entire program this year. We've updated our website page. We've created a new video that's shorter. The old video was 40 minutes long. We were able to condense all the information into 12 minutes, about 13 minutes. We have all new forms out there, and we're starting a new program for venison lottery so that no deer carcass goes to waste. So we're starting some new things, and hopefully we have a lot of hunters that sign up this year.
Yeah, it's a great program, and we're always looking for more land and opportunities to be, able to get deer, land and hunters to be able to get to help manage and call the deer herd, because that's one of the top issues that I get phone calls about is, what are you guys doing about the deer? And we have our deer management program, and we're working with the DNR, and people just got to stop planting arborvitaes, I guess. So. So we need to really publicize our deer management program, and I believe that the registration for the program opened up yesterday. So go to the website to learn more. Next item, item 8, unfinished business for discussion and possible action. Review and results from the park survey.
We only had 20 additional residents fill out the park survey since the last time we met. I did incorporate those changes into the memo and updated a couple of items. Most of the items didn't change as far as the recommendations to the master park plan are concerned. If you guys would like me to turn off the park survey, I will do so, incorporate the changes that came through the survey, and then submit the park plan, the 5-year park plan, at our next town board meeting. But that's
I
up
think
to you.
we should keep it open for a little long. I think it's the middle of the summer, people aren't paying attention. I mean, I know my push was kind of, I was gonna kind of towards the end of the summer before school starting, do one more, as parents are getting ready, just do one more thing. Hey, as you're getting ready to take your kids to school, if you haven't already, do complete this. So I was thinking we should leave it open maybe through the end of August and just to kind of, it was been I think it's like anything with summer, just give a chance for everybody to kind of have summer and then fill it out if they haven't already.
Why not, right?
We're not in a race to.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, I think my only piece on that is we are behind the 8 ball on the planning portion for it, so I don't know how that would impact.
It just gives us less time if we wanted to do anything this year, and then it also puts a little bit more of a time constraint. If some of the items with the impact fee time frame would be pushed off until next year, we'd lose an entire year.
But there's no funds expiring in the,
Not currently, no.
okay.
No.
So, I mean, I'm not opposed to it necessarily, it's just, I think we need to be cognizant of the calendar.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
End of August?
yeah, let's leave it open till the end of August and plan on getting
but
those.
do we need a motion to?
No, I think we
to-
just direct staff.
Just
Just direct
direction,
staff
yeah.
Okay, so,
Okay,
last day in August, shut her down?
Yeah.
Perfect.
thanks.
And I'm even okay, when does school start? It's almost a good way to kind of just time it
yeah.
in with that, if you want to pick another random day for when many of the school starts, to kind of just remind people to get her done as they're going to school, completed.
Sounds good. Next item, item 9, new business. Item 9A, consideration and possible action on the request from John Havanen, S15W32056, High Meadow Circle, Delafield, to approve a certified survey map to divide 6.8355 acres parcel into 2 lots on a land located at W316S198 State Highway 83, tax key number DELT 0850-999-001, as recommended unanimously by the Town Plan Commission at their July 1st, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve certified survey map to divide 6.8355 acre parcel into 2 lots located at W316 South 198 South 83rd Highway 83, tax key 0850-999-001, as recommended by the Plan Commission.
A second.
Motion is second to approve the CSM. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next item, 9B, consideration and possible action on a request from John Havanen, S15W32056, High Meadow Circle, Delafield, to rezone a 6.8355 acre parcel of the lands located at W316 S198 State Highway 83 from A2 Rural Home District to A3 Suburban Home District. Tax key 0850-999-001. This also was recommended unanimously by the Town Plan Commission at our July 1st, 2025 meeting. And this will eventually have to go through the county to get approved. So we'll approve it tonight, but it still has to go through the county process before it's actually technically rezoned.
I motion to approve the land located at W316 S198 S83 from A2 Rural Home to A3 Suburban Home, tax key 0850-999-001.
Second.
Motion is second to rezone the property from A2 to A3. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next item, item C, consideration and possible action on a request from Matt and Nora Michalowski, 1619 Auburn Court, Waukesha, for approval of a CSM to combine two existing lots located at N21 W29827 Glen Cove Road, tax keys number DELT 0810-092 and DELT 0810-093. This also was recommended unanimously by the Town Plan Commission at our July meeting.
I motion to approve CSM to combine the two lots, N21 W29827 Glen Cove Road, Delt 0810-092 and Delt 0810-093.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the CSM. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next item, item D, consideration of a notice of violation in order to show cause issued to Mr. Daniel Sheehan, property owner at N2W31674 Scuppernong Valley Court, Delafield, Wisconsin 53018, regarding alleged unauthorized occupancy and the illegal burning of garbage and construction materials. Turn this over to the administrator and then the town building inspector.
Yeah, so we had some reports that there was a gentleman potentially living in this property, requesting garbage pickup from our garbage hauler, which we don't set up until the person has obtained occupancy. We did check with the building inspector, who indicated that there were many things that needed to still be fixed before the inspections would be passed, and we also had complaints of the burning of construction material and garbage in the backyard. Mike Hadley from Safe Build is here if you'd like to hear him talk about the permits and what was wrong and so forth. And we also have the resident, Mr. Sheehan, here to talk about his portion of it.
I would like to hear from the building inspector, Mike Hadley, to understand what's going on, and then I would like to call the owner of the property to come and explain what's going on. If you can come to the podium, please, sir.
They have this list already, though?
They do.
Okay. What questions do you have then if
Just want
you
to
have the list of violations?
just kind of understand what's going on here. It's my understanding that there are a list of violations, that occupancy has yet to be granted. You've gone and you've done an inspection. You've listed the items that need to be remedied to be in compliance and receive the occupancy permit. I mean, do you have any background or anything regarding where things have at? I mean, you sound like
where things are currently at is Mr. Sheehan has sent out an email with some updated pictures of compliance on some of these items. And there wasn't there an email that initiated Mr. Sheehan discussing an attorney?
When we did inquire, I believe it was a phone call to Mr. Sheehan, we were replied with an attorney that told us to cease all action, so we ended up bringing our attorney into it, which is why you're hearing this in front of you tonight. We have not heard from his attorney thus far, but we do need to have you make a determination as to whether we continue with the order or if you want to grant him temporary occupancy. So as it stands right now, that's the attorney portion of it, but as far as the timeline for them to continue.
So I guess that was the action that pretty much took me out of it.
okay, so you haven't physically been able to go back and re-inspect and see where things are at?
And not since he started sending some updated photos of things he's corrected.
Okay.
And he was here earlier, and the three of us kind of had a discussion of some other items that he's also been addressing, and discussed items that he knows he needs to correct as far as improper permits that have not been pulled. namely the electrical permit and the plumbing permit. The initial contractors that were involved in the project did not finish the work so someone else stepped in and did the work without pulling a proper licensed permit. So those are really the steps where we're at. We just need the proper permits in place, the fees paid. And at that point, I think, we can schedule another site visit to check compliance. He alluded to us tonight that he's not living there. I have not been on Scuppernong in a couple of weeks, so I don't know what the traffic or what's been going on over there.
But the bottom line is, we've noted that there are permits that haven't been pulled
Right.
and work that
Yeah.
hasn't been.
So we can't even, really issue temp at this point.
Okay.
Until until the permits get pulled and I can go in and verify that the safety violations I called out have been corrected.
Okay.
If I find other violations that are less severe, but allow me to issue a temp, I'm willing to do that. But
Appreciate the update. Mr. Sheehan, if you would please come to the podium and kind of tell us what's going on.
Yes, I'm living over by my parents' house in Wind Lake right now, and I have all the pictures stating what Mike was telling you about, all the repairs that need to be done. Those are all done already. So, and then there's like erosion control on there that has to be done too, and that was done on Wednesday last week. I had to get a bobcat and I, smooth it all out and put some grass seed on it and everything. So, and then with the electrical and plumbing thing, that one is, my electrician pulled out halfway through and he had to go up north to handle his grandma's estate or something up north. So that's why I had to get another electrician. So, and that's Helping Hands electrician. So, and then same with the plumber. He was too busy and then I had to get somebody else to finish. But he did all the rough work. So that all passed with the plumbing. But also, the electrical and the plumbing, the permits already been pulled already at the beginning. So, for the rough and for the finish work. So, but it's just a change of contractors, is what it was.
May I?
Go ahead.
So if you have a different contractor come in, they cannot continue working under the other contractor's permit or license. So they do need to pull a separate permit out for both the electrician and the plumbing company.
Thank you. And I thought the electrician did that. And I still don't know. He said he did, so that one should be fine. The finished electrical. That one should be done already.
Do you have a copy of the permit?
Not the original permit I don't have.
Well, what about the new one?
New one, I don't have that one either, but he said he pulled it, so.
Could you ask for a copy of it?
Yeah, I can tell him to get a copy to Mike.
Sounds like Mike is willing to work with you, but just, receiving the proper permits is important, and I get it that your guys pulled out and made it, and I can't help, but maybe between you, work it out with them, especially because I know you have to pay a new fee.
Yeah.
Maybe the original guys that backed out, they can reimburse you some, so you can help pay for your next permit.
That'd be
I'm
nice.
just trying to help you.
Right, but the bottom line is, the town has no record of these new permits, so.
Right, so we still need to get permits, yeah. That's what I'm saying, that's for sure.
But everything else is done on Mike's list that he sent me. Up until
Mike
Wednesday.
can't go in because he doesn't have the permits, so we still, right, it sounds like we still need to get permits before him to even to go in.
We're going in circle.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
That was the holdup only? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, it's
Get
easy
the right
enough.
permits, then Mike goes in and then does the
I thought the
inspection.
permit was right, well, all right.
Yeah, so we have to clear up the permit issue. That sounds like, issue number one.
Yeah.
But,
And so were the other companies doing work without a permit pulled, or?
No,
Who
no,
did
that
the
was
work?
already, the permit was pulled when they were doing the rough work, and actually I built the house, so, with my other guy, and then the other guys had their rough work that they did, and then, so they did all that already, and then it was just the finished work, as that was it.
So at this point, we have no records of permits pulled for this property at the town level?
We have records from the original electrician and plumber, but they didn't finish the work, and then I had handed out extra literature, I guess, saying that they didn't, and then his new people have not.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
Just a finish, it's all
But so the
finished.
work that's been done since the list was requested was not done by a contractor who's pulled a permit?
The rough work, yes, but not the finished work, that's what,
yeah, I mean, I really want to, try to work with you, but, I'm in a difficult position here. And, I would recommend that, that we authorize our administrator to work with our legal counsel to, to move forward with the enforcement actions. And, the lawyers can figure out how to work through this and make sure that everything is in compliance. That would be my recommendation.
I mean, I agree. It sounds like you're handy and you did it all, so that's awesome. I think you just gotta pull the right permits. It's gotta meet code, and our building inspector needs to sign off, and then we're happy to work with you. So I'm in 100% agreement with trying to work with you, but there are still steps that you need to take.
Yep, agreed.
Are you the person who started the burning the construction materials in the back?
yeah. Yeah, at the beginning, then Mike told me to stop, so.
Yeah, we can't
That
do
was
that
it.
anymore.
Would somebody
Looks
like to make,
rough.
would somebody like to make a motion?
Just to direct municipal law to,
Well, direct the town administrator to work with our legal counsel to commence enforcement action.
motion to recommend to town administrator to work with our municipal law group to commence enforcement action.
There's
second.
Motion and a second on the table to direct the administrator to work with legal counsel to enforce. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Didn't it? Yeah, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, discussion and review of potential referendum related to funding and future provisions of fire protection services.
What's going on?
Regarding that item,
Seriously.
I just want to state that on behalf of the town of Delafield, I want to take the moment to recognize and express our sincere gratitude to the dedicated men and women of Lake Country Fire and Rescue. Their professionalism, courage, and unwavering commitment to protecting our community are deeply appreciated by all of us. As we look forward, the town of Delafield is committed to working collaboratively with our partner municipalities to thoughtfully review and amend the current intermunicipal agreement. This process is critical to ensuring the continued strength, stability, and sustainability of our regional fire and rescue services. But as we do this important work together, we must also look towards the future. In support of Lake Country Fire and Rescue's long-term staffing plan, the town believes now is the time to begin serious conversations about a potential referendum. This is not just a financial decision, it's an opportunity for our residents to reaffirm their support for the fire and rescue services that safeguard the well-being, security, and future of our community. Let me be clear. We put public safety above politics. Our priority is and always will be ensuring that Lake Country Fire and Rescue has the resources it needs to serve this community now and for future generations to come. Yes, it's troubling what's happening, but I look forward to working through it with our partner municipalities. Yes, it's frustrating that this station was closed for 18 days. I'm told that the brownout numbers are trending in the right direction, and we just need to have faith and trust that the elected officials can put the politics aside and continue to work in the best interest of the communities that are part of Lake Country Fire and Rescue. But with that, we are going to have to go to referendum at some point to fund the staffing plan. So I just kind of wanted to plant that seed this evening. There's a checklist from our attorney of kind of the steps that we're going to have to take. We don't have to make any real decisions this evening, but as everybody knows, when we went to referendum in April of '23 for Lake Country Fire and Rescue, that wasn't for the whole enchilada. That was only for 14 positions. The staffing plans calls for 22 or 23 positions to fully staff this out. Yes, the numbers are big. Yes, it's going to cost money. But by the same token, we got a heck of a deal for many, many years with volunteered and paid on-call firefighters, and we're no longer a rural community. We have I-94 running right through the middle of us. We have Highway 16, and our population isn't getting younger. So, you know, this community is committed, and I'm committed to help lead this community in making the investment in Lake Country Fire and Rescue so that we can, you know, ensure everybody's public safety in this community and our partner communities. So I look forward to working with my partners at the City of Delafield, Village of Neshota, Village of Shaniqua, Village of Wales, Town of Genesee, Village of Oconomowoc Lake, and us as the Town of Delafield to make this happen.
Thank you, Chairman Kranek.
Next items, announcements, planning items. The Towns Association County Unit Meeting is tomorrow night, Town of Eagle. We're going to have Joe Ruth from the Towns Association. He's the legislative lobbyist. Come and talk to us about what the signing of the recent state budget means to towns. We have a Town Plan Commission on Tuesday, August 5th at 6:30. The Lake Country Fire and Rescue Fire Board Budget Workshop, I believe, is August 13th at 5 o'clock. I know on the agenda that there was one listed for August 6th. We've since learned, since the agenda had been published, that one was canceled. And then if needed, and then there's a Fire Board meeting on August 20th at the City of Delafield for the Fire Board at 5 o'clock. And the next time we'll convene here as a town board, unless anything earth-shattering happens, is scheduled to be Tuesday, August 26th at 6:30 p.m. Next item would be item 11, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
Motion second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. We are adjourned. Thank you.
7:19.
Did you hear the swear? Did you hear the swear? No. Oh my gosh, he totally said.
Just curious,